Go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome to DMOT Garage. We are on the Krankenwagen yet again. For the new people, this is a 52 ambulance, I think 11 in the world, so very, very rare little beast. Now, on today's episode, we're going to show you a couple of things here. We do have some of the upholstery back from Matt. You can see he's done an amazing job on the front bench seat. All that factory stitching, exactly how it was. And we also, in the back, have the seats done as well. I can show you those. So, a little bit dark in there, but we've still got this little section here to mount over here once the door cards get done. So, anyway, they all got done. They came up absolutely amazing. Next week is coming to put all the headlining in. I have all the door cards. I've been playing around just off camera making these door cards here, or kick panels, because none of them were available, so I had to make them. And I've also done all the cards for the doors and the rear and all that. Now, we had an issue with the engine, and I didn't film it because I was that over it, you wouldn't believe it, but I was getting ready to start it, put oil in it, and there was 2 oil drips coming out of the case, and I just went, no, you got to be kidding me. So I had to pull the engine out, completely disassemble it. Here's a couple of photos. Had to repair. There was a very, very small little corrosion hole that I'd missed, and it was weeping through the stud into a bolt hole and then out the bolt hole. So I couldn't work it out at the start, but anyway, it's fixed, but it just meant the entire motor took me 2 days to repair it. It was, yeah, not happy. Anyway, it's all fixed. We have oil in it now. We've got fuel in it, and the battery's over there. You know, this is going to be a bit of a test to see if we can crank it over and get some oil pressure. I've actually taken the coil lead off, so it doesn't start because we don't want it to start just yet. But we're going to crank it over. I've got Mick, my mate, coming over to give us a hand. And we're going to actually put juice. I haven't put any power to this yet, so I don't know what's going to happen up here on the dashboard. There is still a couple of wires that haven't been hooked up yet, and that's purely to do with the dual horns and the light relays. So we're just going to leave that for now, but I just want to see if we can get this thing started. Everything, all the fuses are in here, and I've got the key in. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. We're going to put some juice to it, make sure the dash lights are working and everything else, and then see what happens. So yeah, let's get ready for it, eh? All right, guys. So we've been playing around. We've discovered. Oh no, that's stripped down from there.
That's all right.
Just, yeah.
That's from before.
Crisis over. Unfortunately, our coil, we've tried 2 6-volt coils and we can't seem to get a good spark. We had also no oil pressure for quite a while. We've been cranking and cranking and cranking. And we tested our oil pressure switch on the bench, and we know that works. And after about, I don't know, 10 goes, we ended up taking the switch out and we pumped some oil in through here, wound the motor back a couple of times to prime it, and we have oil pressure. It actually works. I can show you guys, and you can listen to this thing crank over. So we'll have a quick look here. Come up to the dash, switch on. Remember, push button and watch the oil pressure light. And there it goes. So we are, we're winning, right, Mick?
Yeah.
We're winning. Only one bit.
We didn't win quickly or easily, but we've won.
Yeah. So that's one thing now. Oven Boy's trying to get us another coil so that we can potentially get this thing fired up. We've just had issues with, we haven't been able to get any spark to the new points there. Bear with us, it might be in a day or two, and a couple of seconds for you guys, but we'll get back to it. Well, as you can see, we're pulling out all the big guns today. Mick couldn't help with we did get oil pressure, so but now we've got the man himself here, so we're gonna see if we can get this shit sorted out.
I was asleep on the couch and everything.
He was asleep, and it's a Friday afternoon, everybody. Our issue at the moment is coil and not getting spark to the distributor, so
so we've got the right connection, so we're going to make a real botch job here and we're going to have fun. Okay, have you got a high tensile lead?
Yes, let me grab that. Hang on a sec. There's one right here. one I prepared earlier.
Go for that. Someone did something. Did you check this lead had any guts in it? If it was working?
Well, no.
Good digits.
I just assumed that it would be working, but yeah, that's probably a good idea, right? So what's the test here?
How many ohms the lead is?
How many ohms does it bring out?
I don't know yet.
We will see. I'll get you another one.
Yeah, I reckon this lead's dead. Was this the one you were testing with?
Yeah.
So it's 21 ohms, 21 kilo ohms. Right, now normal one is about 3 ohms, kilo ohms. So it's 4 times the resistance. So that would give you a very weak spark.
Right.
If you was testing with that, okay? So your spark might be okay. Okay, is the ignition on?
No.
Can you just turn the ignition on? Don't start it, just turn the ignition.
Yep, on.
Now we know that this coil was working, right? Because we've had a motor start with it.
Yes.
Because it came off the one that was sitting in the garage.
Right. Righto, we're going for start, everybody.
Now, Nick tells me he's got the firing order right this time, so my nuts are safe. And I'm not near the exhaust. Let's find out if he's right or not.
Okay.
Now go for it, buddy.
On.
Yeah, stand back. Okay. That doesn't sound too promising.
Why?
I know, have you got fuel in it?
Yeah.
I can't smell any.
No?
No, I can't. Okay, have you got any aerosol? You want to spray, pump it, or just, or you got to prime the carb? Have you got a choke? Hang on a sec, we got a choke on it.
You guys do.
Okay, people who tune into D-Mop Garage, this is... Now, Nick told me that he did it all pretty good. And he did, he got them all in the right order, but 180 degrees out. So what's happened is that we have to take the distributor drive out of here and spin it around 180 degrees so it works. So it didn't work, but now we know.
It did make a popping sound, but not the right popping sound.
Many popping sounds.
Now we've got to do surgery, and that's going to be fun.
So don't leave Nick on his own.
Yeah,
He's been left
right.
unsupervised. He doesn't get out. Okay, so we can't do this easily. We're going to use a 2 screwdriver technique, which Nick doesn't know anything about yet, but he's going to find out.
2 screwdriver technique.
Double screwdriver technique, yeah. It's a new little plan. I've never done that before either, put it in the wrong way.
Hey, this isn't my second rodeo either, you know that, right?
Okay, so I want to look down the hole there and make sure we've got the stuff. Where can I put this without damaging?
All right, surgery time.
So we're going to go down the hole here. Now, is there a spring in there?
Yeah, there is. Do you want me to get it out?
Yeah, we'll take the spring out with a pair of tweezers. And the hole that the spring goes in, you use 2 flathead screwdrivers and you twist them against each other. It locks in that hole and then you can wiggle it out.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting technique.
Well, we'll when we've got that out, we'll bring you back in.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, guys, we are ready for the first start. Well, we're going to try. Let's see what happens.
Take 10.
Take 10. You want to add a bit more fuel in the bowl?
No, I should have vaporised by now.
Right. Ready?
Hang on a sec, we're not totally in position. Okay. Go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
No way. That easy?
Yeah. I told you do it right and it always works.
Again?
No, we're out of petrol now. Okay, try it. Now, that's all your fuel gone now.
It sounds so cute. Give me the cap there. We're going to pour a bit more in.
You're going to put more juice in it. Oh, is it lid off? Oh, okay.
Pour a bit more in.
Because you're going to try and... I don't think you've got enough fuel in the tank to prime that lead. Well, it's coming out the side rail. Yeah, I told you. It's not sucking your fuel up.
Why?
There's not enough in it. I reckon if you crack that fuel line, there won't be enough. Where's your fuel can again?
Yeah. There's enough in there to pour it back in. It should start coming up though.
It should if it's getting fuel.
Oh, actually, turn the handle.
The other way.
Yep.
Is that the reserve side?
I think it is.
Hang on a sec. How did you get that in without spilling it down everything?
I don't know. You ready?
No! Don't you start it yet. Mate, I can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, shit, that was a lot. Go, give it a perky, we'll see what happens. Go.
Well, it's the next morning and it's freezing cold. I've got the door shut. I've got to put the heating on. It's first day of summer. Yeah, right. I'll show you guys what the problem was. So in the end, we couldn't get any fuel to the pump. And I basically went underneath and was looking at the petcock, and we undid the fuel line off it and no fuel was coming out, so I'm thinking, all right. So we had to drain the fuel, put it back into the jerry can. I had 10 litres in there, so there was more than enough fuel to get it to run. I'll show you what the problem was, and unfortunately when I rebuilt the petcock here, and this is the part, inside there is a little gasket, a little rubber gasket which has those 3 holes cut into it, a little circle. And then of course to do your reserve switch, you have this part here, which rotates back and forth from reserve to, and those holes end up lining up inside. So it'll go from reserve to full tank. And what had happened is the rubber I used, I had some rubber here. You can see this is where I cut it out from. It obviously wasn't fuel rated. So what happened is the rubber completely fell apart into this powder. And of course it blocked up all the holes and there was no fuel getting through at all. So I've had to order some correct rubber so that it's obviously going to live in there where there's fuel. So that's what stopped the thing from actually running more than a couple of seconds. So bit of a bummer. I'll just have to wait now until I can get some of the rubber and make another little gasket to go inside there, and then we're going to be all good. So I'll bring you back in when we've got it and we're ready to rock and roll, and we'll go from there.
One eternity later.
Okay, we are ready to start. I've actually got the petcock finished and fixed. I'll actually show you over here. I ended up just getting a little bit of this rubber in the mail and made up a little new gasket, which was that diameter. Here's one that I prepared earlier, but it wasn't quite big enough, but that's what it looked like. That's what was inside it. So it just moves from one hole to the other for reserve and full tank. Anyway, let's start this thing up. Let's see how she sounds. I'll set you guys up over here on the tripod. Still no idle. All right, we need to check and make sure we are getting fuel to the bowl. Kind of need 2 people for this job, because we can crank this over and see. Let me undo. I did crack this one open before and there was definitely fuel getting into here. I'll bring you guys back in. Righto guys, we got it going. Pretty good. The problem was the fuel reserve switch. I had it on off position instead of on. Anyway, it's running. Sounds good. Take that choke off quickly. Probably just needs to warm up a little bit. That pulley's a little bit on the bent side. We might have to try and straighten that out. Let it cool down for a little bit.
A few moments later.
All right guys, so all back to original. I put this on, the original coil's actually working, so yeah, no worries. Got a bit of a flat spot though. To have a bit of a play around with the timing, I think. Anyway, she's running. Well, there you have it, folks. So it runs. It does need some more work, unfortunately. I went back to the old coil that I had because the spark wasn't that good with the original one that came with the motor. So I've ordered a new one, there seems to be a shortage of 6-volt coils, like literally worldwide. Whatever website I went to, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. It's like, what is going on? Found one, I think, in Germany. So anyway, that's on the way. You know, look, it's dancing, the timing's dancing around a little bit. So I've got a feeling the distributor probably needs, I mean, even though I did go through it and check it all, and it seems good to me, but the timing mark is jumping. So I'm not sure what's going on there, whether something's loose inside or not. I don't think so, but yeah, it's just got a really bad flat spot. So I haven't really been able to dial that out. I mean, there is a idle mixture screw, which I didn't think there was, but I found it. It's just hiding behind the back of this one. If you have a look inside here, it's just in there, little screw, but that's the only adjustment on these old carbies. They don't have a fuel pump inside them, a diaphragm pump at all. So there's not a lot of adjustments you can do on it. So again, you know, I did pull it apart and clean it all, but who knows? You know, the super old componentry. Who knows? I mean, there's a tiny bit of play in the shaft. I don't know if that's going to have anything to do with it. But if you just mash the throttle, it just dies straight away. Like, it just bogs right down. So we'll have to play with it another day. I'll get Oven Boy back down here. He's the guru on this stuff, so hopefully he can get it sorted out. I will leave it for that. Dinner's been called, and I'll see you in another episode, guys.